All right, good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting of whatever the day is, October 20th. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Is there anyone here recording tonight's meeting? Nope, no one's recording it. I hereby call the meeting to order at 6:32. Roll call of the members, please.
Jim Foran.
Brendan Doyle.
Kate Thompson.
Mike Greco.
Josiah Birch.
And Mark Mungem. All right. Going to the agenda. You want to wait on the meeting minutes, everybody? All right, we're going to wait on the meeting minutes till the end of the meeting. We'll go to discussion. 59 Depot Street, possible increase of approved 5-foot by 5-foot riprap pad for a retaining wall. I don't know anything about it. Sam, what do you have?
So Bob and Eric should be here. He's going to talk on it a little bit more, but they're basically requesting a minor field change to their order of conditions that was issued, I believe, last year to do work throughout Depot Street. So once Bob talks, I can go into my comments if you'd like, but I do have the site plan that was submitted for this minor change up on the screen right now.
Okay, thank you.
Can I borrow your...
You can use this one.
Oh.
Good evening. Bob and Eric, Town of Douglas, Economic Development, speaking on behalf of the Water Sewer Department for this water main project on Depot Street. The reason we're asking for the extension of the riprap, previously you approved a 5x5, call it a splash pad, to accept the discharge from the pipe, the 12-inch reinforced concrete pipe coming off of the new catch basin. Now we have to, because this is a structural retaining wall, we found out we had to apply for a building permit. And Ken Frazier, this is one of Ken Frazier's biggest concerns, is undermining this wall. If you think of the amount of water we had this morning from the storm, coming off of a 12-inch concrete pipe is pretty substantial. It might create ruts and undermine the wall. That was his biggest concern right now. That's why we've re-engineered this, and we're before you with just an extension, a simple extension of the riprap pad to the stream bank and to prevent any erosion channels, if you will. The brown area is the extension. The black crosshatch area is the previously approved 5x5 riprap. I call it a splash pad.
What is that area? Looks like
that is a sloping hill.
Three times bigger than the...
What's that?
Is it like 3 times bigger than the 5x5 that was part of the note?
Actually, it's 4 times, because it's a 20-foot extension to a 5x5, so it'll be a 25 by 5. It will channel water away from the foundation of the wall. The reason we're here in the first place is because water got behind the wall and it collapsed. A worse condition is getting water underneath the wall.
Okay. Sam, do you have...
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Chair. So my main question for Bob would be, do you know what direct impacts will there be to the resource areas themselves? So to the bank, is there going to be additional impacts to bordering vegetated wetland in the bank? That's my first question.
Not really. The water is getting there anyways. What we're trying to do is collect the sediment, because if you have 20 feet of unprotected area where this extension would be going, that sediment will get into the stream. So this extension will prevent any sediment from reaching the stream. It'll also slow down the velocity. That is a very steep slope. I don't know if you guys have visited that site, but that is a steep slope from the splash pad or the riprap apron to the bank, probably a 5-6 foot drop over 20 feet. That water will pick up velocity, which is the worst case scenario. So the riprap extension will not only collect sediment, it will slow down the velocity of the water and prevent undermining of the wall.
So the riprap itself will not be placed in the bordering vegetated wetland? It's outside of the wetland? Do you know?
Well, the stream is
I just
where
don't
is the
know.
5x5 pad right now? Is that within your,
Well, it's within our jurisdiction, but when I look at this plan that you have here, it just looks like it's beyond the edge, because I'm assuming this green line, right, is the edge of the bordering vegetated wetland.
all
Now,
right, so
forgive me
that would,
because-
that is the banking, so they kind of meet at the culvert, do they not?
It does seem that they do from this photo, so I just wanted to double check and verify that.
All right, we're not
Rip-
going inside the blue line or the green line.
That's good. So that's fine. So that was my first question for Bob, because this is coming in as a minor field change. So the options here are, if you feel comfortable bringing it through as a minor field change, or issuing an emergency certificate, which you're able to do, which allows them to do the work right away, and then afterwards coming before the commission with an after-the-fact amended order of conditions to change their order of conditions to include this change in there. If you think it's significant enough to include in their order of conditions. Now, my comment was going to be, if they are having direct impacts to the bank itself or direct impacts to BVW, I was going to highly recommend doing an amended order of conditions after the fact. Now, because DEP has a policy out on amended order of conditions, and basically it's not a regulation, so it's not hard stamped, but it's a policy for guidance that basically says if it's a minor enough, you can do an amended order of conditions. But anything that is going to increase impacts, they actually suggest having a new notice of intent come before the commission. So either way, for this, I was going to suggest an amended order of conditions. Now, if you feel comfortable, if what Bob says, if they're not actually directly impacting, if they're not directly increasing impacts to the wetland or the bank, then I feel more comfortable saying a minor field change. I mean, this is a public safety issue, so we really don't have issues with the project itself.
Right.
But just procedurally, when we're looking at this going forward, if something were to come before us in the future, you know, you want to keep the precedent the same for everyone. So if you think an amended order of conditions is necessary for this, if you think it's enough to grant that, then that's what I would suggest, the emergency certificate with an after-the-fact amended, or you can just approve it as a minor field change here. And we could write out a letter. Basically, that's what we've done in the past. We'll write out a letter just saying you voted on this at this meeting, just to kind of have it in the record and for the books. But those are our main comments on it. Is there going to be a couple trees that have to come down?
No.
This as well?
Everything's been removed.
Okay, all right.
This is just a
Extension.
5x5 pad extension. Same material, same geotex material underneath. Instead of 5x5, it'll be a 25x5. We're carrying that back wall down, and then as the wall is not straight, so could be 4 feet, could be 5, depending where the stones are.
This outfall pipe is for a new catch basin?
Yes, the catch basin is in, the pipe is not in because that's where the collapsed wall is. Now, keep in mind, that's only one catch basin. That water is coming from Railroad Ave, which is about 400 or 500 feet upstream. There should be 3 or 4 additional catch basins in that line. There is not. The reason that wall collapsed was because all that water from, including some of Railroad Ave, because it's pitched towards Depot Street, turns the corner, comes down Depot on that side, and collects behind the wall. That's the reason we're here in the first place.
Right, well, the pipe will alleviate that from happening. because
Right,
the
it'll-
water's not going over the wall anymore. It's
Correct,
gonna be-
or behind the wall. These types of walls, the earth behind it actually makes it structural. If you had to build this wall freestanding on both sides, it would collapse by itself. It's the earth behind it that really locks everything into place. And that's why this wall collapsed, because the soil behind it got washed out.
I mean, as I see it, it expands the work area so that previously they were requesting to stop work at, 10 or so feet from the bordering vegetated wetland edge to now they're going right to the bordering vegetated wetland edge.
Well, actually, we had work right inside the blue lines with that scaffolding to protect any stone dropping into the brook, so we were inside the blue line anyways.
They did have, in their original order of conditions, it was about, I think, 8 or so linear feet of impact to bank itself, temporary impact to bank itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's temporary. I don't disagree that it needs it because of the slope. I mean, you can't just end riprap and then expect there not to be any kind of velocity after that on a steep slope, as you explained. I think it.
We're just trying not to come back in the next 50 years.
I think it falls under an emergency, but then read buys the order of conditions. That's how I feel it.
Yeah. So you're full within your capabilities this evening. If you want to vote to issue an emergency certificate, allows them to start the work right away, but then with basically a condition that says you have to come back with an amended order of conditions to include that in it, just so it's all on the
Together.
record. Yeah.
They haven't
Is the
started.
contractor actually working? I thought they were done for the fall.
This wall is the only work remaining for this fall season, and we need to get this wall done before the winter season because the slopes, the work behind the wall will be at the edge of the road. We need a winter freeze-thaw cycle for settling. The plan is to have on the double yellow line concrete barriers, Jersey barriers, so we'll be down to one lane alternating at that point, just in case they need some of the road for excavation purposes to get behind the wall.
I just didn't want to issue an emergency order if they were not going to be out there until the spring, which is what I thought.
No, we need it done. We're on them right away. Keep in mind, this was supposed to have done in August, and you well know what month it is right now.
Yep.
This has been a problem contractor on Depot Street. I'll just leave it at that. I'll take the high road and be nice.
Any thoughts from board members?
I'm okay with the emergency and then do the amended order of conditions to include it, and then that way everything's all kosher.
Yeah, and all they would really have to do with the amended order of conditions is if they are impacting more bank and more BVW, which I don't think they are according to this plan,
Yep.
if they are impacting that, they would need to resubmit the WPA form with the square footage if you are impacting it directly, and then just basically a cover letter that says these are the things we're amending, this is what we're doing, we're requesting to amend the order of conditions, and then you can vote on it, and then we fix the order of conditions to include what's different, so.
I would like you or it's the conservation agent to review this to see if they necessarily have to go directly to the edge of the bordering vegetated wetland, or if we can leave a couple feet away and still achieve what is what they want in terms of the riprap.
I mean, we could, but you always have the chance of the erosion channels. If you get a good rainstorm, that water will be pouring out of that pipe. It has to go somewhere to the stream.
No, it's all going to go to the stream. I'm not saying it's not. That's why I say if it flattens out in that last foot or two, is there any reason why you have to carry the riprap all the way to the BVW?
I mean, that's your call. I can't speak for the contractor or the engineer at this point.
Yeah, was that recommended by the engineer to go that far? Is that how you got to this point?
The building inspector requested that this be extended. The engineers drew this up and said, this is where we'd like it to end.
And, I would agree that if it was flattened out for a period of time, then it would make sense to pull it back more. At the same time, I'm not an engineer. If they've calculated it out and they think that's what's appropriate for it, I'm just more concerned if you are going to have permanent impacts to the bank itself, then it should be recorded in the amended order of conditions, because that goes back to DEP as well, so they review that too. So that's my main concern with this. Now, is this going to be permanent?
Yes.
Riprap is going to stay there?
Yes.
I just don't want the work to be in the wetland. I would rather leave a foot of existing material where the silt fence can be placed while they're doing the work than to have the work go all the way to the wetland edge and then impact the wetland itself.
I'm trying to see if I have the right photo up here.
I guess the question from my perspective, Mark, is what if an engineer has designed this and they've said they probably stopped there for the exact reason that you're saying. They didn't want to get into the vegetated wetland. They probably, if from an engineering perspective, would have preferred to go further, if I were guessing with it. So they probably said, well, we'll stop there. That's the bare minimum we can do to secure that wall. I personally wouldn't question someone who's designed it. I don't know better, but
I feel appropriate in questioning them because they already designed it once and didn't design it sufficiently. So why would I have confidence that they've designed it appropriately this time?
But did they design it last time to support the wall? They designed it for the flow coming out of the pipe, if I'm understanding it correctly, not to help prevent wash away of that supporting wall. I thought that was, if I understood it correctly, that was a new consideration, was we're worried about the wall, how it got washed out before. Maybe they should have considered it before. Maybe you're right about that. But I don't think they designed that pad with that intent. I think they designed that to slow down the water as it's coming out of the pipe. Again, correct me if I'm wrong.
Agreed. The splash pad was to collect the water. When we're applying for the building permit from the town of Douglas, this is where this now has surfaced. I think Ken Frazier is online if he wishes to speak.
Good evening, Ken Frazier, Building Commissioner, Town of Douglas. With regards to the splash pad and the design of this wall, when the engineering firm sent me the application for the building permit, I did a review of this. I had a lengthy discussion with the engineering firm. The concern is that this is a free-stacked wall. It's not a mortared wall. It's not sitting on a concrete base. It's just a free-stacked wall sitting on virgin ground. With the splash pad, it would absolutely take care of the water coming out of the end of the 24-inch RCP. But the problem is that you potentially have a flow of 24 inches of water that's going to come out onto the splash pad, and then everything goes downhill. The concern is that unless this riprap or some kind of stability is installed at the base of this wall from that splash pad to the stream, you're going to get erosion, you're going to get sedimentation, and you're going to eventually get another wall collapse, because we all know as it erodes, nothing backfills it. At least with this riprap, with a filter fabric underneath it and the riprap, you'd help to stop any sediments that may or may not even be coming off the road that would infiltrate also into your wetlands. I know that, it's never a like to have any kind of disturbance on the riverfront or anything, but I think if you stop this short of going to the water, you're potentially going to also have more erosion at whatever point you stop it at. I've been at the site. I see that the stream is it appears to be a gravel base. I know they've got to do a lot of work with picking up the stone and everything that's collapsed out of the wall in that whole area. At the end of the day, I think what you'll find is that this is a very viable solution to potentially putting sediments into the stream and everything, also protecting the bottom of the wall so we don't run into this situation again.
Ken, let me ask you, the proposed splash pad runs parallel with the wall. Is there any benefit to not running it along the edge of the wall, but to take it more directly to the wetland on a little bit of an angle? Because So that takes the water away from the wall?
I don't believe that would be a benefit. The concern I have is any virgin soils that are left at the bottom of the wall are a potential erosion problem. And the erosion, as we've seen on the edge of the wall, not necessarily in this location, but it has gone over time down in this location. When you put any kind of a flow at the base of a wall like that, where it's a free stacked wall, there's always that possibility that all it takes is just one good storm that generates some trenching at the base of that wall, and water is going to find its own path. And the concern is that, well, sure, maybe not a year or 5 years, but I mean, this is a long-term project. We're talking, 25 years. We'd hope to have this last without any problems. And if you allow any kind of infiltration that could potentially happen to the base of the wall, I couldn't say with any certainty from my side that you wouldn't run into some type of a problem again. So my recommendation was to go to the base of the wall. I wouldn't recommend necessarily a flat padded area. I would give a little bit of a concave to the padded area to help channel the water in the riprap swale going down through there, to even aid more in directing it without bringing all your sediments and everything from surrounding surfaces down with it.
Okay.
So if you would like, my recommendation would be to issue the emergency certificate, and then for them to come back for an amended order of conditions.
Make a motion to vote on that?
Yeah. I'll make a...
I apologize if that was directed towards me. I'm not hearing anything.
Nope, you're all set, Ken.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I'll make an emergency motion for certificate to approve the 5x5 rip pad here for the retaining wall, and also make an amendment for the original order of conditions to be done afterwards.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Mike to issue a emergency certificate
Yep.
to repair and extend the flash pad at the base of the wall. And then we will modify the order of conditions after the fact. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, no vote.
All set?
All set?
Yep.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yep.
I'll leave this to you in case.
All right, next up, 520 Northwest Main Street, Breezy Acres. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Keith Forget, 520 Northwest Main Street, Breezy Picnic Grounds.
Hey, Keith.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. What do you have for us tonight, Keith?
I just wanted to come before the board in a discussion about possibly looking into putting an overwater deck / dock, be connected to land and out over the water in the lake. And I'll probably be needing to put some piers in to support the end that's out into the water. So I'm looking to see what exactly I'll need to do in order to do that. What I'd like to do is install the piers that they're like almost like putting a screw in the ground. They just screw them right in. I've had those done before, and they're the least impact. There won't be any digging. I mean, this would obviously be done when the lake is drawn down. The lake is drawn down 6 feet every year. It exposes probably about 70, 75 feet of beach area when the lake is drawn down 6 feet. So, and the deck right now, deck, it's not going to be, I don't know the exact dimensions, but it's not going to go out as far as the whole swimming area would go out. The swimming area is about 70, 75 feet out from the wall. So I would say it wouldn't even be half of that length, but I just like to come before you to talk about what I would need to do in order to get the ball. This isn't something for this coming season, but I just want to plan ahead and be ready to go. So that'll be. So any questions I can hopefully answer. So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I believe at the very least we would want to see a plan showing the deck with the number of pilings that you're going to require, how far out it will extend, and then how they're going to be installed. If they're helical piles or whatever, as you said, they're, less impact. And then the pond, does there have to be a state permit or whatever for that?
He would not need a Chapter 91 because this is not a great pond.
Okay.
So as far as a Chapter 91 license, he would not need to do that. But you would need to submit a notice of intent application. You'd have to hire an engineer to get you a plan together. They could put together your notice of intent application for you. Part of that is showing the square footage of those helical piles that you'll be putting down. What's the square footage of disturbance that will be on the land underwater from the pond? If you have to do any bank of the pond disturbance for maybe whatever you use to attach it, that'll be part of that as well. So that just shows your impacts. It explains your project through the notice of intent process. Then you get your site plan, and then that can come before the commission, and then that's when it goes under review from us.
Okay.
Our comments, just for your thoughts ahead of time, are the amount of shading from the dock. We get concerned about shading out the vegetation that's under there right now. So something to think about is doing a vegetation survey, potentially, see what's there right now, see what's not.
There's no, it's all beach,
Okay.
sand,
So then that's
it's all
something-
sand, yeah.
Yep. So then that's something you can just include in that and say, we're not concerned about shading because of this, So that's just something to think about. A lot of the times they'll want, I don't know if you're gonna do a solid dock or if it's gonna have slits in it or anything, and how high up it's gonna be, but these are all things to just take into consideration, the amount of light to let through if there was vegetation there and such. So those are our main comments. It would be a notice of intent application through us, and then that's basically what you'd have to do for that.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, it wouldn't be a solid dock, it would be decking that would have some light passing
Yep.
through it. And it would be, whatever the structure needs to be, it wouldn't be that, it would be high enough. Whatever the wall height is, it would be sitting on top of the wall. So, when the lake is full, it would probably be a foot and a half above the surface of the water.
Sure.
That's all the comments we had on it.
Right, that would be our comments.
Okay. Did they mention that they were going to talk at this meeting about the water slide pool going?
So I saw I think you requested a building permit
Yeah,
for that
demo.
one, and I did see remove splash down catch pool. So, if you wanted to talk about that a little bit, just what's going to go into that. If you're just removing it and replacing it with a pervious surface that the water can then infiltrate into, there's no issues. They don't need to go through the commission. It's if they're removing that and then replacing it with a pervious surface or maybe expanding upon that, that's something that would have to come through the commission as well.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly what your plans are with it.
It is going to take the pool out, and then it's just going back to the natural ground
Okay.
area. The sidewalks around the pool, that were around the pool, those are all staying in place. Everything, it's just basically taking the pool, it's basically a square, it's about 30 by 30, and removing that, and then just filling it back into the way that it naturally was. And then for right now, I'm just going to cover over on the slide hill itself. We have like 1.5 inch stone. So I'm just going to put 1.5 inch stone over that, but it's going to be, yeah, the rain's going to be able to drain right through it, so.
Yeah, so that was our main concern. Is it going to be a pervious or impervious surface? And if anything, that's better than what's there right now. It allows the water to infiltrate, so we don't have any issues with that. They don't have to go through the commission for that. It's just if they're going to expand it or add more impervious surface.
Why would they not have to go through the commission if they're within 100 feet of
Because
the pond bank?
Because it's already grandfathered in, it's been there, I don't know when it was approved in the past, so it's there. If they're
It'd still work,
improving-
though, within the buffer.
Yeah, that's a good point. But, yeah, when Brandon and I talked about it earlier, if they're improving what's there now, allowing water to infiltrate, and it's in the same, they're not expanding, they're not going any farther, then that's fine, because it's within what's already been approved, what's already there.
I don't disagree that it's improving it, but it's also, there's going to be activity there, construction activity within 100 feet of the pond, because it's a pool, basically, an in-ground pool, isn't it? So and you're removing that in-ground pool, and then you're putting material back in to bring it back up to grade. So that's...
I would tend to agree with you, Mark. If we were ripping down a house or something,
Yeah.
isn't it the same?
It's the same thing.
That is a good point. If you wanted them to come before you with an RDA, so that you could give conditions to it and have them put erosion controls up, you could request that.
I think at the very least it's an RDA, yes.
Is it an RDA? Because under the State Water Protection Act, that would only include land under bodies of water. The lake would be the resource area. The buffer zone is not the resource area. You're working in a buffer zone, but it's not a bordering vegetated wetland. And so that, in the state law, it says that there is no buffer zone for a bank or a lake with land underneath a body of water. There is no buffer zone included. I believe it's 10.2B in there.
He is correct that land under water bodies and waterways does not have a buffer zone, but the bank of the pond itself does have a buffer zone. It does have a 100-foot buffer zone for the bank.
Right.
The land
But if-
underwater doesn't.
But
Even
if
if
the
the bank is a concrete wall, it's still a bank.
The bank does, yeah. Just not land underwater, but the bank itself does. So that would be within 100 feet of the pond. So, I mean,
Because, go ahead, sorry.
I could talk to Brandon a little bit more about it and come back. But that was our conversation that we had had today about it. He did not express concerns with it, as that was for them if they're doing it within the same exact spot.
Right, and for me, it's a benefit, but the act of getting to there, of removing the existing pool, I think requires our review, and
I think also, Mark, is adding stone also.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
And in fairness to other people that are doing
Right.
similar things, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody should be, I think, going by the same rules, right?
I
Isn't it?
mean, maybe if he wasn't adding anything, but You're bringing in some stone, too, you know?
The stone.
Soil and stone.
Site. Soil's on site as well.
Right, but you're going to be bringing it to that spot.
Yeah.
If you guys feel that way, then I would recommend having them come with an RDA, and then you could give a condition saying you need to put the erosion controls up in this location, maybe have an erosion control inspection if you wanted. But that was the discussion I had with Brandon. He didn't seem to have many concerns with it, but if that's what you'd like to do, then that's fully within your jurisdiction to do, so.
The area, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yep.
The area around the pool is staying, so there wouldn't be any place for the erosion control to go, because there's the sidewalks, and there's a viewing area that was there, and then there's another area of...
Do you have any pictures or? No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I have pictures that I can send around.
You can get the aerial photography up, but
This is actually the pool right here. Here's the walkway, there's the viewing area, and then there's another section. That's down below.
I had 5 kids, I've been there.
It's a-
A long time for me.
I've been in that pool several times.
Takes you back, huh?
Oh, it does too. I'm sad it's going to be gone.
Nice looking pool.
Yeah.
I do have the aerial photo up right now, so you can see. It is pretty close to the pond. So if that's what you'd like to do, that you're able to do that. So,
That is what I would like to do.
okay.
I don't think we have to have a vote, but, I mean, the general consensus of the board, I think, is that.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
if one person, everybody should have to go through the same process.
Right.
And you don't have to vote on it, because it's just a discussion, so it would just be verbally telling him that he would need to come back for an RDA for that specific activity there.
That is what we feel.
He could also include it, I mean, I don't know how urgent it is for that. That could be included in the notice of intent as well, but
The notice of intent for...
for the dock,
When you
if
do
you
the
wanted
dock,
to
yeah.
include it all together, I don't know.
I want to do the pool. It's a good time to do it this time of the year. The lake's going down, so the water table's dropping as well. So, I'm just trying to find something. I apologize for the...
When are the slides coming down, Keith?
First the pool,
First of all.
and then the slides come, yeah. I want to get that area done.
Did you have anything else, then?
I was just looking for something. I thought before that what I saw was that it was banks were included in that, but I can't find it now, so. What would be the board's major concern?
Before, through the chair, I'm just looking at minor exempt activities within the buffer zone. So I can just kind of read through this for a second, just in case this is covered under there. So minor activities within the buffer zone and outside any areas specified in 310 CMR 10 are not otherwise subject to regulation under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, provided that work is performed solely so as to reduce the potential for any adverse impacts to the resource area during construction and with post-construction measures implemented to stabilize any disturbed areas. Factors to consider when measuring the potential for adverse impacts to resource areas include the extent of work, the proximity to resource area, and the need for erosion controls, and the measures employed to prevent adverse impacts to resource areas during and following the work. So I'm just looking through the following minor activities. So unpaved pedestrian walkways, fencing, vista pruning, plantings of native trees, conversion of lawn to uses accessory to residential structures such as decks, patios, pools, replacement of basement bulkhead. I'm just trying to see if this is covered under anything. The conversion of impervious to vegetated surfaces, provided erosion and sedimentation controls are implemented during construction. So technically this wouldn't be a vegetated surface. Activities that are temporary in nature, have negligible impacts, and are necessary for planning and design purposes. Then you get into utility poles and such like that. Installation of underground utilities, sewer lines. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's directly covered under minor activities in the buffer zone, so you'd probably be safer doing an RDA for this and having them come before, especially given its proximity to the Bank of Pond itself. I'll bring that aerial photography back up. I'm sure you guys already know how close it is, but so it is pretty close to the bank. It's not like it's 98 feet away either. So that would be my recommendation then, is to have him go forward with an RDA application and then do it that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I will do that.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Keith.
Now, would I need anything extra that would be at the RDA?
It's less. It's less than the notice of intent.
Yes.
So you don't need an engineered plan or anything. It's helpful to have a hand-drawn plan if you could do that.
Okay.
If you wanted to do a hand-drawn plan just showing that maybe if you can get a rough distance from where the pool is
Yes, I
to
would
the
want the
bank.
distances from the edge of the,
And just kind of generally, and then just give a general description. It gives you in your RDA application, it says description of the work. So you can just describe the work going on there. If you want to add some pictures in showing how close it is to the bank, that can all be put in that application. But you don't need to hire an engineer or anything like that. You could do it yourself.
Okay.
And Jen at the town hall is very helpful if you need
Yep.
have any questions or anything.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
so what I would be interested in knowing is like the fill material, what if that is a pervious material that's going to be installed, in how deep it is,
Yeah.
how much material is going in there, how deep it is. You said something about a 1-inch stone on the top, so just a description of what the stone is on the top.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Next up, 6:30 PM, NOI DEP number 143. Still no number?
No.
Public hearing continued, notice of intent, Joseph Leonardo, 269 Southeast Main Street, driveway, single-family map, Loop 245, Lot 41. Meeting's now open. How come these poor people can't get a number?
So, through the chair, I was looking on DEP's website earlier today, and there's still nothing. Have you guys been able to get in contact with them at all?
Yes, on October 7th, I'm Valerie Leonardo, I'm Joe's daughter. On October 7th, I spoke with her on the phone, Emily, at the Central Regional Office, and she said she did have our application and she was working on it. I did ask her if she needed additional information. She said no. So 2 weeks later, I still don't have an answer. I thought that was strange.
Yeah, I think they're very backed up, I will say.
She did say that.
So, Yeah, and she's new to DEP as well, and I think they're just very backed up, so that could be it. I was just curious because usually I'll see it on the website, and it'll show that you submitted the NOI, but it'll say it doesn't have a DEP file number yet, but I don't even see it on the website at all. Now, my main concern is you can't approve it until they have a DEP file number. DEP has to review it, they have to give comments if they have comments, and then we need to have the file number to be able to issue your order of conditions. So if you'd like to go in, if there's any changes, I don't know if you guys made any changes or not from the last site plan, you're welcome to explain what's going on, but just so you know, we can't approve it tonight unless we would have the DEP file number.
Yes, I didn't expect otherwise.
Yeah, we did know that.
Okay, so, as we talked at the last time, we were trying to get a couple of deep hole tests for percolation tests. That was the main purpose. And then we ran into some other little issues, okay, that we were gonna, because the house that we have designed, for here, doesn't quite fit. I needed about 100 feet of room here. And I'm going to find out that the 100 feet of room is not available. So one of the first things we did right after the last meeting, so we had this wall moved 30 feet. Well, doing all of that, we thought we would have enough room. But then Valerie and I took a long walk, and we took a lot of those small brush that we talked about, the copse cut that we had taken, and removed it off of here, so to put it on one side. We put it all on the low side to help, and in the process of doing that, we walked around the back of this, and then we quickly found out that this stone wall, right here, which is right at the about at the exactly at the 100-foot buffer zone, is actually quite working very beautiful, and we really didn't want to destroy that wall.
No.
Okay. Then we found out that there's a huge monolithic rock here. Yeah. This is about the size of a tractor trailer, the front part. And but the only way to remove that would be to hammer for a couple of weeks, or
Just a couple of weeks, huh?
Okay. But just to be not to be outdone, because the glacier did a great job, where it had to stop. That right over here, right next to where we were going to extend the house, happens to be a house that's got. Happens to be a rock that's 5 to 6 times bigger than this, so it's got both the tractor and 2 trailers, okay, behind it. And it's like, are you kidding me? There would be enough, if we had a quarry, there would be enough stone there to build the old-fashioned foundations.
Yes.
So there's no way of moving that. No. Okay, so now I'm going to have my great-grandson is going to have a wonderful place to get over and get hurt. Yeah. All by himself. Okay, but that's another story. In the meantime, we do have a house design that'll fit there, so that's not an issue. So we want to proceed with the deep hole testing, and at which point this whole thing will all come together, and I'll have another beautiful set that'll show also this nice stone wall, which is actually quite big, and actually it's actually from natural as the stuff as you had talked before, with a little bit of water and the rain, that it kind of packed the bottom, of it. So it's got like a natural little buffer. But anyway, so the whole place looks nice. I welcome, you guys to take the entire board to take a visit, to show us what we got, and so that when we do get the number, we'll be able to, to finalize this. So the drawing was evolving, and stop the guy. I said, wait a minute now, if I still can't fit it in, with the extra 30 feet, of the house, then I have to redesign the house, and at which point, it became a moot issue. Okay? And we wanted to come here tonight to let you know and keep you updated, because you'll be thinking that we have a different set of plans. The answer is no, we're going to probably go back to this original design, right here, so that'll stay, and now we'll make the house conform to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
stopping by.
Thank you very much.
They're just going to submit new plans at some point, so you can just...
All right, next up, our favorite, 56 Lakeshore Drive enforcement order. Is anyone here for that?
No news?
No?
I have not gotten any news on it. So unfortunately, we have nothing to report at this point.
Okay.
DEP's backed up.
They're
Yep.
very, so what I've heard is they're very backed up.
Okay, that makes that easy.
What about 335 Southwest Main Street enforcement order? Anybody here for that?
So I do have some pictures, if the commission would like to see. I did visit both the sites last week. Rick from our office also went, did he?
Yes,
you want
I
that?
thought it was Rick, but Rich.
Okay.
I spoke to him on it. That's why I did what I did.
Okay.
Can I get your name,
I'm
please?
Kip Arizona from KD Construction. I'm going to be doing the excavating over there.
So where we are at right now, currently, I went, visited the site. There had been land disturbance on both of the sites, which Mark had seen and driven by. So they started to cut some trees down, disturb the land. I believe drilled both of the wells.
No, the wells aren't in yet.
Okay, all
All
right.
it is cut right now, and I
Okay.
do have the stump grindings in.
Okay. So that's when we gave the cease and desist order, because there was no erosion controls up on either of the sites. I have specific concerns with the 349, I believe, which is the steeper one. That was a particular concern because of the steepness of it, the bare ground, and then there's no erosion controls. Now, what Rick did see, and Mark did as well, is that there has been some sediment that's traveled from where it was cleared a little bit into the wetland there. So where we're at currently is they did put erosion controls up in the form of stump grindings, I believe. Now, is that all you have?
I have a wall to go on the front so that we can get in and out of it. I can pull it back. But I had originally come down before we cut it and asked for permission to use the stump grinders. You couldn't, it was so heavily vegetated, you couldn't walk through it. And I've done it before without any issues. But I did ask permission first, so we cut it, and we didn't do, all we did was make it so that the tree guy could get his trees out. We didn't do any digging or building or well digging or anything like that, because we wouldn't be doing that until you guys came back and saw the erosion control. Next thing we need to do, once you're all set with that, is to do construction entrance out of stone, so there's no anything coming back and forth onto the road. But nothing's getting excavated until you guys give me the permission to do it.
Okay. So this one, 349, that I have up, that's my main concern. It's a little steeper on this site. You can see from this picture, I'm looking up from down where the wetland is, and it is pretty steep. So I'm pretty sure this was the area that the sediment kind of went down into. So right now, we're at the point of he's put up his erosion controls, and you could lift the enforcement orders if you'd like. Now, for this one in particular, whichever one the sediment went down, I don't recommend lifting the enforcement order at this time, because that should get cleaned up. Where the sediment went down into the wetland in that location, that should get cleaned up. So my recommendation for this is to amend the enforcement order, basically to say, now we're requiring you to clean up this by such and such date, if you wanted to. If you wanted to give him 30 days, 60 days, whatever you wanted to give him to clean up the sediment in that area. And then once that's cleaned up, coming back, giving an update, and then moving forward with things.
It is so little there. I can have that done in the next couple of days. It's not a big deal as far as cleaning it up. Like I say, the whole road comes right at the front of that, and that's where it drains naturally, because there's no drainage in the road.
Just my main concern was just the proximity. And now this was already approved, but the proximity to wetlands, it's just pretty close. So, we just want to be careful with making sure everything is done properly.
The other thing I'd like to say is where that's going to be steep, there's a retaining wall designed up there, because that's where the driveway is going to be. So there'll be a retaining wall right alongside where the limit of disturbance is marked out. We had everything flagged before we cut it.
Yeah, so where that car is parked, is where there's the water coming across the driveway or coming across the entrance to the site.
That's exactly where it's draining.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Yep, and so it comes across at that car and then empties down that steepish slope into the wetland, which is pretty close. It's only like 20 feet off of the disturbed area there. Because we had an enforcement order on it, and therefore they couldn't do any work before the last storm. I think it was on a Sunday, last Sunday, not yesterday Sunday, the Sunday before. I went out there with some silt fence and I installed some silt fence there, so
You did that?
to keep that from, try to keep that from washing any further into the wetland, because we were due to get a couple inches of rain, so I didn't want it to get worse. I observed that you put some grindings
Yes.
up around the edge of the site, but I don't think that's sufficient in several areas of the site. I mean, we are so close to the wetland, and especially in that spot, I mean, that was a temporary thing that I threw up, but there needs to be silt fence in that area. You can't build this parcel without putting some silt fence in to contain the grindings that I saw, which I don't know if I would even classify them as grindings. I mean, they're wood chips with dirt in them, and they're going to float, they're going to move. So I think we need to look at this a little bit more closely as to the statement made that the erosion control is finished now. It's not finished, and it needs to be maintained and continue to be maintained. It needs to be better than what is there now, in my opinion.
So two things. Now, what I'm aware of is that the applicant went, I don't know if he came into the town and asked if the stump grindings were okay. Now, I think that a lot of circumstances, people do use stump grindings. They work. They're an acceptable means of erosion controls. That's on the one hand. And if that goes south, that's on the applicant to then fix that problem, right? So that's one thing. On the other hand, I do agree, where it's steeper here, I don't know if stump grindings,
I can do silt fence down
I
the
would
whole side
highly,
if you'd like me to.
I think the commission would feel a lot more comfortable, and
It's not a
I would
problem.
too, especially in this steep area, adding the silt fence as well. Even
That's
if
not
you
a
want to
problem.
put it right behind the stump grindings on the wetland side, I mean, as long as you're staying within your
Yep.
limit of work, but I would highly recommend that, yes.
It's not a problem at all.
So, in that area particular, I would say yes. Now, I mean, the other site is more flat than this one,
Fairly
I'd say.
flat.
So I'm not as concerned on the other site. I mean, if there's particular spots that you guys have concerns with, I think now is the time to talk about it. But this site in particular, I would highly agree that silt fence would be appropriate there.
Not a problem.
So,
You're right. For me, there's not as much concern on the other site.
Which is the 355 one, right?
335.
Oh, 335,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad.
That's the one that's closest.
But I just have concerns that the way the grindings are installed, that they don't provide a good, solid limit to the work. Right? And so if they're going to stay within those grindings, fine, that's good, you know, they will work fine, but they don't look very substantial to me enough to, that you know, the work is going to stay within those grinding areas. But if someone else approved of grindings, I guess I don't have any say in the matter, and, you know, but they're just going to have to be watched as to make sure that this work area doesn't expand past these grindings.
Yeah, I think at this point, my recommendation is amending the enforcement order. Now, we could just make it general for both of them, amending the enforcement order to include cleaning up the sediment that has gone into the wetland, adding silt fence on 349 Southwest Main Street, adding silt fence in that area, in particular, that steep area, and then having both of those things inspected by myself or Brandon before any more work continues on the site. That's my recommendation to moving forward. quick snack.
So just curious, does every property or place that's being built in Douglas doesn't require silt fence, hay bales, silt fence all the way around, or is it only abutting the wetland area? That's the only area, okay.
Yeah, only the one.
Okay.
Do you have a copy of the plan of the site that you could bring up? Just
Yeah,
before you
give me
do?
a second.
I mean, as you guys can see, there's a big slope.
No, definitely.
That's a downward
10 or
slope.
15 feet there, and then it drops another 6 or 7 feet from this level
And
down
by the
to
time you get
edge
to
of the
that
wetland.
corner over there, it flattens out again.
One moment. Okay, let's see.
Did this come in front of Concom before?
4 years ago.
Oh, got it, okay.
So this is
So,
the
like,
plan.
earlier this year, they applied for an extension. No, they don't.
So here's the plan for this one.
That's the one you're talking about.
So we've got the wetland lines right here, about 10 feet from the limited disturbance. Proposed retaining wall in front of it.
Wait, where's a retaining wall?
Right, see these little, looks like a stone wall almost, right here?
Oh, the little like circles,
Oh, yep.
tiny little, yeah, okay.
That's the retaining wall.
So that's on the right edge of the property,
Yep, when you're looking in.
as you're looking in from the road from Southwest Maine. Is that right?
Yes. So if you're looking in from
Oh,
south.
okay, I see the
Yep.
street now. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is where the wetlands are, had some sediment in them, right in this corner here. The water's coming from the street. And then it empties.
It shoots across, yeah.
So this area here, this is where I think we should be silt fences all along this side.
That's fine.
That works then. And that's on 349-1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the original plan, there was no silt fence required?
Well, it does say on the plan that there was silt fence and wattle, but I believe the applicant had come before either the town hall or the commission before and asked if stump grindings were okay.
Who's
And
Rick?
Rick is from our office.
Okay.
He's new.
I know,
No.
he's been there.
Oh, sorry.
He's not a new person. But he tends to do the pre-construction meetings and such for us, so. But I would absolutely agree that this area should have silt fence.
Okay. Are we doing anything for 335?
I would
Or-
recommend to keep the enforcement order for now until everything is straightened out
Okay,
with both of them.
okay.
If when we're here at this one and do the final inspection, we can pop over to the other one,
'Cause it's
do a
right there,
final
yeah.
inspection, make sure everything looks good, and then
Go from there.
go from there.
Okay.
So wait, so the enforcement order stays in place, but they should still do the silt fence?
Yeah, well, you can
They
amend
can
it.
do, no, I mean, they should be doing that work, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can
So
just-
we're going to amend the enforcement orders so they can go and do the silt
Yeah,
fence and the work.
The enforcement order in the first place was for them, because the erosion controls were not installed, for them to install erosion controls. So now, if we amend it, just saying this allows them, this actually is requiring them to install erosion controls, the silt fence in this location.
How many days do you want to give them? Like 30? Is that normal? 15? 1?
I'll have it done within a week's time.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Yeah, it's
something
not gonna
that's
take-
occurring.
No.
We want them to fix it, so.
I think it's like not even 200 feet of silt fence, so I could have it done tomorrow morning before work,
Right.
basically.
Do you want to do
Couple weeks?
You want to give them 14 days?
To the next meeting, yeah.
Or till the next meeting?
Yeah.
Which is November 3rd, is the next meeting.
So
Today
we
is the
want-
20th.
Just a question. If, when I have it done, should I call Rick again?
Yeah, you can call Rick.
If
and
he
then
comes
we'll-
and takes a look at it, can we get the well, because the whole thing's, I'm not doing anything with the well until you guys are all set, but
Yeah.
he's trying to get a building permit, and everything's been falling behind.
So you would need to lift the enforcement order, which I believe can be done by one person if you weren't at the meeting. I would need to double check with Brandon on that one, but the enforcement order can then get lifted and then he can continue on with his work. But I definitely just seeing this stuff done first. Definitely don't do anything else until that stuff's done.
Definitely not. But I'll have it done by this weekend, and I'll give him a call so he can come look at it Monday.
Yeah, and either Brandon or myself might go look at it as well, just to make sure everything's fine. But yeah, that's fine.
Does that work?
Yes, absolutely give Rick a call, and then we can be in communication with you guys, and then go from there. And if you could send pictures
Absolutely.
as well, when you do them.
Yep. I
Take a
sent
bunch
the
of
video
pictures.
before, so I'll definitely send them pictures.
Okay. Right, 14 days then, or 7? What do you want to do?
Do the 14,
You want to do
just in
it?
case.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that, you said it doesn't mean, I mean, if they get the work done and they want to request a review, and you review it, and you
Yeah.
say it's appropriately done,
We're all set.
you can
Lift the
you can let
enforcement.
one of us know, and we
Yeah.
can lift the enforcement order.
Yep.
And then they can proceed with their well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
It may have to be you, one of you guys.
That's fine,
because
I'm-
Next week, I'm
that's
out all week, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
So just if you want to vote to amend
Yep.
the enforcement order.
All right,
You-
so,
Go
yep, I got it. I think.
You've written it down.
So I'll make a motion to amend the enforcement order to include clean up the sediment and to install silk fence to run along the side of the stone wall that's there, right?
Oh, that's
No.
That's proposed.
the proposed.
Oh, okay.
So you can just say the limit of work.
On
The limit of the work
the limit of work on the east side of the site,
on the east side.
right?
for-
Is it northeast?
Hold on,
Where's our north
northeast.
arrow? It's the east, yeah,
Yeah.
over here.
along the east side. Okay. All right, so amend enforcement order to include cleanup of the sediment and the silk fence to be installed along the east side for 349 Southwest Main Street, and then have inspected before any more other work is to be completed, and to be done within 14 days from today.
Good, thank you.
A second?
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to,
Jim.
I'm not going to go through the whole thing,
Second.
to revise the enforcement order as proposed. Roll call vote?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very
coming in.
much, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Yeah.
You
Good
too.
night. Okay.
Moving on.
Item 6, request for certificate of compliance,
He didn't have to be here for that, right?
extension and extensions.
Or is that something different?
Do we have any more on that?
We have, so during the last meeting, the commission had requested to receive a revised engineer letter because the engineer letter that was originally sent in did not list any deviations, and there are several deviations from what was originally approved to now. So we need a new engineer letter showing this is the deviations that have occurred.
Yes.
So-
I talked to Jen about this guy, Bombara.
There's no new letter, though.
No,
correct?
we have not
And-
received anything.
And the engineer passed away, the guy that did the work, in 1981.
Yeah, I think that's what didn't we discuss that last time?
That was 2 meetings ago, yeah. Yeah.
So he had to find somebody new to do it.
I don't know.
I thought that's what we said.
Can I see the folder?
So the company's still in existence. So someone from the company
yeah.
can,
I thought it was just a, sole proprietor.
no, so I would assume that then anyone from the company can do the letter up, right?
Or any engineer, I think, could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it needs to be the same company, as long as somebody provides them.
I mean, if that company did the work originally, they can go back and take a quick look at their information they have, and then they can just do the letter.
So another month's gone by, and he still hasn't closed on his property.
I understand that,
I was just-
and I feel bad.
just
I
putting that out
do.
there.
No, and honestly, I feel bad, but like, what's good for one is good for the others, unfortunately.
We have the same procedure for every person that comes in with a certificate of compliance, and that requires to have the engineer letter stating the deviations, if there is any, and an as-built plan. So it is the commission's right and duty to review that.
It never got signed off in 19 years. You know,
I don't know.
that's what Jen said, so.
No, I know, and I feel bad, but like,
Yeah, I just wanted to find out more about it.
once you start making an exception for that, then, everyone's going to come out of the woodwork and be
That's
like,
why,
oh.
that's why I was telling you at the 2 meetings ago, let's make a call in 19 years, we can make an exception at 19 years, The guy just wanted to close.
I understand.
So another month's gone by, so that's all I'm saying.
But I think and I agree with you, actually, I agreed with you when you first brought it up, but
Yep.
having said that, what's stopping him from getting an engineer to do what needs to be done?
I don't know, it's just, I guess, more money.
Well, I don't doubt, I mean, I know,
I don't know.
Yeah,
$500?
I don't know what that amount is.
We-
I agree with you.
right. I mean, we weren't trying to tell him to, what am I trying to say? We just wanted to document the changes, that's all, have it
Right.
in
Yeah,
a
no,
letter
I
that they
understand.
documented.
Yeah, I do understand.
I mean, and they've already provided one letter that was for the September 25th that they sent in. It just didn't have everything, so they can just revise their letter,
That's what we're looking for.
and that's all we need, so,
I know, I don't know if he did it or not, or,
Yeah.
but I know, and I, at the same time, as everyone always tells us, right, it's a homeowner's responsibility to follow up and make sure everything's done, right? And I know we don't always do that, because I'm part of that group there,
I mean,
but
I think things were different 19 years ago,
I'm sure they were, but
All right.
that's all.
Yep, thank you. Thanks, Josiah.
You-
We'll move on. Right?
Yes.
And move on from that?
Yep.
Draft meeting schedule? Do we have one?
I didn't, oh, we do?
2026.
Oh, under mail? Sweet.
I didn't get anything.
Did Brandon have a chance to look at it with his schedule, or
I
you
believe
guys?
he did, and he said that's fine.
Okay. That's just funny. Do you want to take anything off like we did last year?
Is there,
I think it was July.
It should be in there.
Yeah, well, July, we don't, July and August, we usually only have one meeting.
Yeah, that's
There's
what I thought.
2 in July, I'm seeing.
In August,
Oh, in August, too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think,
June, July, and August.
I think if you took off the July 6th, that'd be okay, because it's July 4th week.
oh my gosh, yes.
All right. And then I think if you did the
It's a Saturday, yeah.
August 3rd,
I think the 6th is going to be a holiday. I think you're right about that, Jim.
yeah, so like that would be kind of like tough for anyone.
So
And
you're
then
saying remove July 6th, and what was the other one you were talking about?
August 3rd or August 17th? Which one?
August 3rd, I would remove if we're removing the July 6th one.
Okay, so we'll remove that.
Which one, the August 3rd?
Yeah, so July 6th, August 3rd.
So the other question would be June. We have 2 in June currently.
We typically do.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. March.
Third around Thanksgiving?
It is.
November 20th.
Or is it later this year?
That's the Monday before
I-
Thanksgiving.
Never keep track. I'll look.
Monday before Thanksgiving?
Are you talking about this year or next?
Next year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Thanksgiving's on the 26th.
4, 5, 6.
So is January 19th a holiday?
I was wondering the same.
What's the 19th?
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther King Day.
I think it is.
Yes.
So,
When is Juneteenth? Is that-
in June.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The 18th.
Sorry, you couldn't help.
Oh, well done.
So do you want to
It's the
take,
19th, sorry.
Stepped into that.
Yeah, I have no argument there.
do you want to take off November 23rd or leave it since that's Thanksgiving week?
I'm just,
Or leave it?
You leave that one, yeah.
I'll be around.
yeah, that's fine.
December 21st.
That's the week of Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's Monday, it's the same as Thanksgiving. Christmas on a Friday.
All your kids are growing up, huh?
Yes.
I don't think we need to have a meeting on December 21st and January 5th, because that's when you
January
consider,
5th.
Will it be
when
the,
you consider the holiday, and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people take off between Christmas and New Year's, it's kind of,
Yeah.
all
right.
So I don't know that we need December 21st.
But you're talking 2026.
Like January 5th, like in a couple months, and then December
No,
1st.
I am, aren't I?
I think you, to me,
Very considerate.
to me, January 5th of, oh, wait, no.
If you're thinking January of 2027,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What day is that
you are
on?
looking way ahead.
Hold on.
That would be January 4th.
That's a
of
Monday.
2027.
January 4th.
I'm okay with January 4th.
Instead of December 21st.
Yeah.
See, Mark, it worked out.
Thank you. Thanks for saving me.
So December 21,
Gone.
okay.
okay. It took 3, okay.
Does that sound good to everyone?
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So
Did
we have
we-
1 January, 1 in February, 2 in March, 1 in April, 1
You
in
have
May.
2 in January. Oh, no, that's a holiday.
Holiday.
Never mind, sorry.
So 2 in March,
Yep.
1 in April, 1 in May, 2 in June, 1 July, 1 August, 2 September, 2 October, 1 November, 2 November, 1 December.
Yep. Sounds about right. There's not much going on in December anyways. Like, look how, for the most part, usually. You want me to make a motion to,
No, I'm just a little worried that we have, I'm doing the same thing. Keep going from December to January of the same year. Okay. So we have 1 in January, 1 in February, 2 in March, right?
yep, 2 in April.
No, 1 in April.
And
Oh,
there's a holiday. Is that Easter?
What is it?
and then only 1 in May because there's the town meeting on May
We
4th.
need to add 1 in April, I think, because that's a big,
That's a
from
big month.
April 6th to May 18th,
That's kind of.
that would be
yeah.
a long,
Holiday is April 20th.
Easter?
so.
Oh,
You want to do like...
I'd like to do like an April 27th. Add April 27th in?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing, I don't know what that holiday is. It's not on my
April
calendar.
27th.
Yes, it is. Is that technically a holiday?
Where is that?
What'd you call it?
It's under mail in your book.
Yeah, I found it back here.
It's under the mail.
I've been wondering where the hell these numbers come from.
All right, so you want to add April 27th?
Yeah.
Is April 27th okay?
I want to make sure Jen,
Before we do that, what is the 20th? I don't
know because I don't see it on
Holiday on
mine
my
either.
calendar.
It's 420, so.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
you were just saying.
It's Marathon Monday.
Is that really a holiday?
Is this a Douglas holiday?
Patriots Day, Marathon Monday.
Patriots Day, yeah.
I agree. I don't want to meet
I
them.
can't seem to find one.
It's under the mail.
forgot about Marathon. I grew up in Hopkinton. You think I'd know that?
All right, so we'll add April 27th.
I want to double check with Jen, make
Yeah,
sure there's nothing else that night in here. But
Under mail?
Yep, and then.
I'll double check with her and then, yeah.
So do we want to attentively approve?
April 27th?
There you go.
And then we can revisit if that one doesn't work? Okay. So I'll make a motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay with everything else? I'm sorry. Sorry. I got a little sugar. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
sorry, sir. Sorry, Chair.
No, you're fine. Go right ahead.
Okay. All right. I'll make a motion for the Conservation Commission hearing schedule for 2026 with July 6th, August 3rd, and December 21st to not have a meeting, but to add to our schedule April 27th.
I second.
There you go.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjust the schedule as, what about the holiday days? We said no on those as well.
Yeah,
Right.
they're already in red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, they're already in.
Oh, yeah, they're already, all right. All right, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Jim Fornine.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Aye. Mike Quick, aye. Excuse me.
Suicide, Birch Eye.
Mark Muncham, aye.
Need some water over there, Mike?
Thank you.
Oh,
Checking on my cookies.
All right. Roles and responsibilities.
So I believe Brandon sent this over.
Through
Let
email?
me pull it up.
No.
It was probably through email, I'm assuming. He sent over, it outlines the roles and responsibilities that we have as your consultant/agent.
Oh, yes, he did go over that.
Yeah, we went over it last meeting.
Okay.
we need to make updates. Right? Like reorganizing a couple.
Well, there was a couple of things I
Yes.
think he was going to add into it, correct?
Yes, there were.
Did
Don't
he
ask
do
me
that?
what they were, but he was.
I don't know.
All right, we can just throw that to the next meeting then?
Okay. So, I mean, he could add it in and then email it to you guys, and then next time you could just vote on it to
Yeah.
approve it, I guess.
Okay.
Is it possible that he could email it in advance of the meeting?
Yeah, that's
Board meeting?
the idea. That's what we would like to do. I will push him to do that for the next one.
And then the review of the special conditions.
Yeah, so that's kind of the same idea.
Same
A few
thing.
months ago, and our meetings have been very long, so I had emailed you guys a few months ago with the revised special conditions. I moved things around to try to make it a little bit more organized than it is currently. I do believe that these cover more than what you had previously and go into a little bit more detail. I got rid of things that were repeated, so if you want to go through anything, we can go through it. But, and I know, Mark, you had made a comment on, because I included in it wetland replication special conditions apart from your regular special conditions, because you don't want to have to include that all the time, because you don't need to. But in specific cases where there is a replication area, there's specific standards to that.
Thank you.
So we can add it to any order of conditions that has a replication area. So, bless you.
Thank you.
Mark had made a comment about the depths and the grades, I believe, with the bottom inspection for when the replication area is dug out. I know you had some concerns with that. Now, I did kind of briefly talk to Brandon about that. There's no great spot grades taken with any machinery or anything. It's just us, a wetland scientist, going out there, having eyes on
Visual
it,
observance.
looking at,
Yeah.
are we looking for the hydric soils? Have you gotten down far enough that you're now going to be able to support hydrophytic vegetation in that location? Is your grade down? Now, that's just a visual
Okay.
of it, so we never do we take spot grades for that kind of thing. So, just to clarify on that. But if you guys have any more questions, I don't know if you want more time with it, but I know we want to get them implemented
yeah.
sooner than later, just because I think these are more straightforward, more organized than what was previously there. So, yeah, if you have any questions, I can,
I have a question.
yeah.
And it's not specific to this, but when, for example, when my house was built, the house was built, and I came to get the final certificate of compliance, but the builder wasn't responsible to come and get the final certificate of compliance. I guess they could have, but they weren't responsible for it.
The homeowners, yeah.
Yeah, the homeowner is ultimately responsible. So what jurisdiction do we have when someone's coming to get the final certificate of compliance? It's only if it was within the buffer zone?
So if it's coming before you in the first place, right, it's got to be within your jurisdiction. So you give an order of conditions, because they're in the buffer zone, for example, they're doing work within the buffer zone. You give your order of conditions, the order of conditions is good for 3 years, unless they extend it. They can extend it another 2 years if they wanted to. So that order of condition is good for 3 years, and technically, they're supposed to come before that order of conditions expires to get a certificate of compliance. Now, does that happen? No, half the time it does not happen, but it's on the burden of them to come for their certificate of compliance. We don't chase people for it.
Burden of who?
On the applicant.
Okay.
So whoever built the house, it's on them, because at the end of the day, it's going to give them problems if they don't have their certificate of compliance, if they're going to sell their house or whatnot, because that's when it usually comes up. If they don't do it when the order of conditions is still open, it comes up when they're trying to sell their house, but then it's hanging over their head, like, you don't have this closed out, it needs to be closed out. So that's typically when they come. Now, there's nothing we do to go after people in particular that don't have their certificate of compliance, because that would be a full-time job in and of itself.
Well, the two reasons why I was asking, one is because of the gentleman who keeps coming back 19 years later to get a certificate of compliance, but also, is there a way to not enforce it, but maybe have the builder take out a bond or something, so that there's some cash on the line that forces them to make sure that the hay bale, silt fence are closed out, that the grass is sufficient, so you accept the final certificate of compliance. They have a little stake in it, and then you're not 19 years later talking about it.
No, some sort of bond.
Yeah, and I don't know if a bond is even legal, but something like that would put some stake on the builder to actually get a certificate of compliance to avoid anything like that in the future.
As far as I'm aware, there's not, but I could talk to Brandon and see if in his experience if he's seen anything like that. I don't think there is, to be honest. I can get back to you guys on that part of it, but I'm not really sure.
It's hard because they're the builder, but they're not the applicant.
Right.
So how do you, I think.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if it's maybe not under our jurisdiction, maybe it's under the building commission or whatever other permitting.
Right, the building.
It bothers me when a builder kind of walks away and the homeowner's got to take up all the hay bale, silt fence, wait for the grass to come in, and the builder's like, see ya, I'm out.
And you know what's funny, though, is a lot of builders on their contract will put, it is your responsibility to follow up on X, Y, Z, but.
This says, one of the conditions we have in here, the commission may request that before an occupancy permit is issued, the Conservation Commission or their agent will inspect the project to make sure it's in compliance with the order of conditions. Any outstanding issues will then be the responsibility of the owner of the property to comply with the order of conditions.
That's how you could do it from now on, just they can't move into their house.
Well, but that's where we give the partial certificate of compliance, right? So they can get the occupancy permit and get in. It's kind of like I don't think it's a big deal. I know.
It's a good point.
I feel bad for the guy 19 years later who's trying to get a certificate of compliance, and if there was some system in place, maybe it would have been avoided. I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a 1 in a million.
I don't think so.
It's not.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you it's not. It happens, I think, all the time.
It does. I mean, and you're not the only town it happens with. It happens everywhere where people don't come back for 15 years until after. So, again, it's something I can talk to Brandon about just to double check, but we did have an issue in another town with this same kind of thing. They were like, can we do any type of enforcement for a certificate of compliance? And we kind of just didn't really get any resolution with that. So I'll double check with him, but from what I know, it's on the burden of the applicant to do it. So.
Is there a list of unfinished certificates of compliance out there that we can like look through and see like how old and just like?
I do not, I don't know. I mean, Jen might have some documents at the town. She might have something, Jen, but I feel like that's pretty hard to keep. I don't know, maybe she does. Now, we've only been in this town for a couple of years, so I know Brandon doesn't necessarily, I mean, we have a bunch of folders that show all the order of conditions, but we don't have like an Excel document or anything like that showing what's what. She might have something. But yeah, again, it would be, somebody would have to sit there and go through every single thing, you know? But.
August 1st from Samantha is the date of the email she sent to us with the order of conditions. I just looked it up. So, August 1st, if you want to go back and read it.
I don't want to.
I mean,
I know she sent it.
I just figured, because while you were talking, I went back and I looked up in my email and I was like, oh.
I can just kind of summarize, not to go through them all. But, so, in our special conditions, we basically do a findings of fact. We say who was here during the meeting, what was the vote, who was the applicant that came up. Then we give a background of the site, which is very helpful looking back at things. We give a background of the site. Then we talk about what resource areas are in jurisdiction, what resource areas are on site. Then we go through the plans that were approved from it. So we put in the approved site plan, and then we go into the special conditions themselves, which are on every single one of your permits that you issue. So there's general conditions, which just give violation of any conditions stated. You know, it may go to enforcement action, just kind of stuff like that, general conditions. Then we've got pre-construction meeting we do have on here as well. So the Conservation Commission will be notified at least 1 week prior to construction for allowing a pre-construction site visit meeting. I know that's something that you guys have been more interested in now. Let's see, so that's part of it as well. I've got a section for erosion and sedimentation controls, so just how they should be installed. I do exclude the use of hay bales. We really don't want to use hay bales. We'd rather use straw, so we're not spreading seed everywhere. We want 100% biodegradable straw wattles or compost socks.
I don't think we want to use regrind stumps either.
So that's part of it. That says they should be inspected and maintained throughout the entire construction phase. So that's just kind of part of it. Then we go into during construction. Any change in the conditions need to be brought before the commission, you know. So you have the right to enter and inspect the premise at any time when there is an open order of conditions. So there's that kind of stuff that goes into it as well. Then we've got conditions related to certificate of compliance, and then if you have special conditions that you want specific to an application, that gets added to the end. So that's kind of generally what they talk about.
What do you mean they?
The special conditions for each, for every order of conditions, they're all the same. But if you guys, you know how you'll vote to add them in, so then we type them in at the bottom. Those will be specific to that application.
Yep, there might be some specific conditions that we add.
Do you guys ever do you consider an evaluation of consistency? Like we've had this come up 10 times. We want to make sure every time it comes up, we do it. You know, do you
have an example? Like as far as, like for pre-construction meetings has come up a lot in the past few months. We've talked about it. You know, there's been specific sites that, you know, we didn't get a pre-construction meeting for. It wasn't something this commission really enforced heavily. So now, because it's come up many times, I think we've all agreed we're going to get a little bit more, well, we're going to include pre-construction meetings consistently with every application that comes in, which includes, if any of you wanted to go to that, you could go. A representation from our company, so either me, Brandon, or Rick. Rick he does a lot of pre-construction meetings, for our company. And then the contractor will be on site most of the time. So we go through what you need to have on site. You need to have your DEP file number in a specific spot to be shown. We do an erosion control inspection. We go through these order of conditions and make sure that the applicant has read them and understands their order of conditions. So there's several things we go through, and it very much helps prevent things from happening that make things go downhill. So,
well, I was more specifically referring to like the gentleman who came and was talking about removing the pool, which to me, I mean, the work that was going to be done was literally almost in the water.
Yeah.
And to me, that was a no-brainer. Like, if we're tearing down a house that's that close to the water, you're certainly going through the permitting requirements and everything. What would be the difference between tearing out a pool in that instance? And I get concerned that maybe I'm missing something, because when you said it, I'm like, what are we talking about? That doesn't seem consistent with what we've historically done.
Yeah. So, I mean, in this case in particular, I talked to Brandon about it earlier today. We had a discussion about it. I think maybe his view on it was that because it was in the same exact spot and it was going to be an improvement upon what is there currently, that's something that can just go. But
there was kind of a situation like that on Manchog Pond, where the guy that was the real tight lot where he had the tight tank, and he was going to improve the building. He was going to improve the building, and it's like, 50 feet from the water. He was making it better, but,
I just didn't know if we missed something, like in that particular instance, I thought.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Typically, from what I understand, is that if it's an in-kind
like what?
repair of something, if you have a house that's there and you need to redo the siding on your house or whatnot, you can do that without having to go through the commission if you're within jurisdiction, because it's an existing in-kind repair in that particular situation. Now, I mean, this is again something I can discuss more with Brandon in his experience of this. I would agree in particular in this situation that an RDA would be appropriate for that, but it's just what we discussed earlier, and I think just because he thought, it's in kind and it's an improvement, that it's something that doesn't need to go through. But, I mean, that's something going forward, that if it was a situation like that, then, you create the precedent of we're requiring an RDA in this situation, so.
Yeah. And I don't mind, if you and Brandon want to recommend something, and we want you to recommend, us to take a direction, but there's times that I don't think that we're going to, right? And this was one of those cases where I think we felt that it was a little bit more work than we should just be allowing them to do.
Yeah, and I was just curious, because I'm curious if we missed something, like there was something I didn't even think about, but.
Yeah, no, I just, like I said, in-kind improvement, that was his thoughts on it initially. I'm sure if he was sitting here, he'd probably agree with you guys and say, maybe I didn't think into it enough or something, but yeah, those were his initial thoughts on it.
He'd have some sort of quip for it, though.
Yeah. So I've read the special conditions that you've recommended, and I feel that they're appropriate. I don't know if we want to continue to not do anything about it, or if we're ready to make a motion to endorse endorse the revised special conditions.
Yeah, you could just vote to accept.
Make a motion to vote the special conditions of order before us.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we've got a motion from Jim and seconded by Mike to endorse the revised order conditions, special conditions. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you, Sam.
Welcome.
Have a cookie.
Yeah, already had one.
All right. We don't have any orders to be signed tonight.
Yes, you do, sir. Everyone else is signed except you in the blue folder.
Oh, jeez.
That's it.
Rub it in.
Don't mess with Jim tonight, Mark.
Good grief. Just jumping in on me, and then he wants me to sign something too? Go back to the meeting minutes.
I have reviewed all three,
Oh,
Go for it.
and I have 10 total edits.
All right.
Pretty minor.
All right.
So on June 16th, the first item, line 6, you just want to get rid of and they.
Where are you, under number 6?
No,
June 6th.
June 16th,
First six
item
line?
1, line 6.
Oh, item 1, line 6, okay.
And you said get rid of what? And they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then line 8, which is 2 lines after, I'm not really sure what it's trying to say. It says, to correct the issues with flooding at 2 existing properties and install 2 catch basins and regarding, et cetera. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to say something else, or if we just get rid of and regarding, et cetera.
And regrading, maybe? Should that be regrading?
Could you reread? Do you mind rereading?
Yeah, here's the full sentence. So it says the 2 main objectives of this project design itself are 1, replacement of the existing 36-inch corrugated metal pipe, 2, to correct the issues with the flooding at 2 existing properties and install 2 catch basins and regarding, etc. So maybe it is and regrading.
That sounds
I would bet it's
Right.
regrading.
It's a good catch, though.
Thanks. And then, let me look like.
Oh, no, you are good.
Item number 2, it's lines 14 through 17, but it's like the 3rd paragraph, 3rd, 4th. It's kind of just a redundant, it's just saying the same thing as the following paragraph. So I think we can get rid of everything after the commission members went over the conditions to be set.
So what's the correction?
Just getting rid of the rest of that paragraph.
No, I don't have
And
any.
then number 6 is line 8. It should just say the Queepers. I don't know if that's how you pronounce their name. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering it, but it says they. It should just be the. And that's everything for June 16th that I had.
Okay.
And then July 7th, item 2, line 6, it said, with this and, Sam Crew showed photos of the site and found no issues with this and recommended a -3 determination. What is that? Is that?
Yes, that's accurate.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Where are you at? I'm sorry.
July 7th.
Wait a second, before you go to July
Yeah.
7th, let's vote on June 16th.
Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to throw it all on, no.
No,
so-
let's do one, each
Yes,
one
sir.
individually, please.
Make a motion to approve the June 16th, 2025 minutes with the proposed changes.
I second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve June 16th meeting minutes with edits. All those in favor?
Jim Foran?
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike, you okay with the meeting minutes from 16?
What about them?
We're voting on them, the changes. All
Oh, I approve.
right, thank you, Mike.
Josiah Bircheye.
Mark Monjamai. All right, June 16th, good, thank you. Go to 7.
Great. Item number 3, or, yeah. So you said the -3 determination.
Yes.
correct? Great.
Yep.
Okay. Item number 3, line 11, which is the 4th line from the bottom of the page. It should just read lot 20 with the condition that the drainage from the gutters being installed goes into the crushed stone. So it's just a slight rewrite of that one.
With the condition that,
With the condition that the drainage.
Right.
And then get rid of that it goes. And that's it for that one.
All right, make a motion to approve the edits for July 7th, 2025 from meeting minutes.
I second.
okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes for July 7th, 2025 with the edits. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Bircheye.
Mark Monjamai.
And then August 4th was Item number 3, the 5th line down, says Bruce Wilson with the New England Environmental Design to resent the plans. Is that
Present.
To present or resent? I don't-
It's probably present.
Okay.
Resent.
And then lines 8, 9, and 10 all have NHSP, but it should be, I believe, NHESP. 10 and 11 have natural heritage, but it's consistent. Yeah. NHESP. And then the last one is item 8 on the last page, line 6. It just says they need to show progress moving forward, so she suggests continuing for 2 and asks them to provide documentation of progress, and I think that should just be 2 meetings.
Like in 2 meetings?
Yeah. And that's it.
What was that again?
It's
Number, under,
8,
under.
line 6.
Move to provide documentation of the progress.
2 meetings and ask them. Continuing for 2 meetings.
Oh, 2, just has 2.
Yeah, so it should just say,
What's wrong with it?
it just doesn't have, it just says continuing for 2 instead of,
It's got to be 2 something.
yeah, I think it was continued 2 meetings.
And change it to asked, right?
Yeah, there's a few like grammatical things, but
Don't want to get too
this is
picky.
picky.
That's all right. We appreciate it. All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for August 4th, 2025 with the edits.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to approve the meeting minutes for August 4th with the edit discussed. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Bonjam, aye. Okay. Wow, they're going to be happy with us.
Go ahead, Josiah.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
Wow.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Bonjam, aye.